The roots of anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism, defined as hostility, prejudice, or discrimination against Jews, has persisted across centuries and continents. Its deep roots are embedded in religious, economic, political, and cultural tensions that have evolved over time. Understanding the origins of anti-Semitism requires a multidisciplinary exploration of its foundations in antiquity, its development in the medieval world, and its transformation in modern society. Ancient foundations. Prejudice in the classical world. The earliest recorded instances of anti-Semitism can be traced to the Hellenistic and Roman periods. Jews were often perceived as a distinct and insular group, whose strict monotheism and religious practices set them apart from the polytheistic cultures surrounding them. In cities like Alexandria, tensions arose between Jews and Greeks, fueled by cultural misunderstandings and competition for economic and political influence. Roman authorities also viewed the Jewish refusal to participate in emperor worship and pagan rituals as defiance. The destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE by the Romans marked not only a physical loss for the Jewish people but also intensified suspicions and resentment against them within the empire. Christian anti-Semitism, theology and blame. The rise of Christianity marked a pivotal shift in the nature of anti-Semitism. Early Christian theology increasingly portrayed Jews as the killers of Jesus Christ, a belief rooted in misinterpretations of the New Testament. The Gospel of Matthew and the writings of church fathers such as St. John Chrysostom vilified Jews, framing them as spiritually blind or agents of evil. As Christianity became institutionalized in the Roman Empire, these theological prejudices were codified into law and practice. Jews were banned from holding public office, barred from proselytizing, and often forced into ghettos. The idea of collective Jewish guilt for the death of Jesus persisted through the centuries, fueling pogroms and discrimination. Medieval Europe, economic roles and scapegoating. In medieval Europe, anti-Semitism took on more systemic and economic dimensions. As Jews were frequently barred from land ownership and many trades, they became moneylenders, often by necessity rather than choice. In a Christian society that condemned usury, Jews who lent money were both needed and despised. This economic dependence bred resentment, which was exploited by rulers and the church. During times of crisis, such as the Black Death, Jews were scapegoated, accused of poisoning wells, and subjected to mass violence and expulsions. The concept of the wandering Jew emerged, symbolizing eternal punishment and alienation, reinforcing Jewish marginalization in Christian Europe. Modern anti-Semitism, nationalism and conspiracy. With the Enlightenment and the emancipation of Jews in Europe, anti-Semitism adapted to new social and political currents. Racial theories of the 19th century redefined Jewish identity in biological rather than religious terms. Figures such as Wilhelm Marr, who coined the term anti-Semitism in the 1870s, promoted the idea that Jews were inherently alien and a threat to the purity of the nation. In this period, conspiracy theories gained traction, such as the forged document known as the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, which claimed a global Jewish plot to dominate the world. These ideas laid the ideological groundwork for the extreme anti-Semitism of the 20th century, culminating in the Holocaust, where 6 million Jews were systematically murdered by the Nazi regime. Contemporary anti-Semitism, persistence and mutation. Despite global awareness of the horrors of the Holocaust, anti-Semitism has persisted in both overt and subtle forms. In the 21st century, it manifests in hate crimes, vandalism of Jewish cemeteries and synagogues, and online abuse. In some contexts, criticism of Israeli policy bleeds into anti-Semitic tropes, reviving old accusations of dual loyalty or disproportionate influence. At the same time, far-right nationalism, Islamist extremism, and leftist radicalism have all produced strains of anti-Semitism, showing how adaptable and enduring this prejudice remains. Combating it requires education, interfaith dialogue, and a commitment to historical truth. The roots of anti-Semitism are deeply entangled in religious myths, economic scapegoating, and political ideologies. What began as cultural and theological differences in antiquity evolved into systemic persecution and culminated in genocide. Today, the challenge lies in recognizing and addressing anti-Semitism in all its forms. Only through critical engagement with history and collective responsibility can societies hope to overcome one of humanity's most persistent hatreds. Thank you for watching.